From calling out Hollywood's secret society on live TV to jabbing at the actor's darkest chapter right on the Oscar stage. These are the times when comedians destroy Hollywood's celebrities, starting with Jimmy Carr, who turned what was supposed to be a lighthearted roast into an absolute massacre of savage comedy. First, he went after Pete's tragic backstory.
Pete Davidson's here. I'm appalled that people would come here and make jokes about the sacrifice Pete's heroic father made on 9/11. This is not the roast of Pete Davidson's father. That was in 2001.
The crowd went crazy, but Jimmy wasn't finished. He immediately turned his weapons on commentator Ann Coulter.
Ann Coulter is one of the most repugnant, hateful, hatchet-faced alive. But it's not too late to change, Ann. You could kill yourself.
And just like Jimmy Carr, Ricky Gervais had his own grudge to settle with Steve Carell. At the 2010 Golden Globes, Ricky Gervais had enough of Steve Carell getting all the credit for The Office. He decided to set the record straight in front of millions of viewers.
You probably know me as the creator of The Office. No, you don't, do you?
You think Steve Carell did it all? Oh, he's brilliant, isn't he, Steve Carell?
He's amazing as the bumbling office manager.
Where does he get his ideas from? Let's pay him.
The passive-aggressive energy was off the charts.
Let's pay him hundreds of millions of dollars and put him in every movie. If you can't be bothered to go to the cinema to see Steve in action, then just watch him every Thursday here on NBC.
But Ricky had an even bigger grudge to settle. When he couldn't attend an Emmy ceremony, Steve Carell accepted an award on his behalf. Ricky was not having it and publicly demanded his trophy back.
Look at his stupid face. Couldn't actually win one of his own, so he stole someone else's. I don't think that is actually the original Emmy. I think that's a shoddy remake. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, there in the front row. Just. I made you what? Don't look at me. I'm gone off road. Everyone's getting nervous now. There's nothing on the auto cue. I can do anything. This is live. I made you what you are, and I get nothing back.
Steve's death stare said it all that he was genuinely furious. But Ricky is not the one to back down, and eventually got his Emmy back in the end.
I'll tickle you. I don't care. I've got nothing to lose here. I'm a nobody here. Where is it? Yes, you have. Stop. Yes, you have. Thank you.
While Ricky was demanding his Emmy back, the next comedian proved he could hit just as brutally when targeting Ann Coulter. Pete Davidson took his shot at conservative pundit Ann Coulter, going straight for her appearance. And the crowd knew immediately that this was going to be savage.
If you're here, who's scaring the crows away from our crops? Ann describes herself as a polemicist, but most people call her a You know, last year we had Martha Stewart, who sells sheets, and now we have Ann Coulter, who cuts eye holes in them.
The next roast proves that even NFL legends aren't safe from comedians. Tom Brady was enjoying his own roast until Jeff Ross made a joke about Patriots owner Robert Kraft's massage scandal. The NFL legend's mood changed instantly.
It is great to be with a bunch of people sitting around talking smack about Tom Brady. Or as we call that in the Manning family, Thanksgiving.
Tom also lost $30 million in crypto. Tom, how did you fall for that? I mean, even Gronk was like, me know that not real money. Like...
Brady immediately stood up and walked over to Jeff Ross. He whispered a warning directly in his ear that the microphones picked up.
I love Robert Kraft. I love... Okay.
Speaking of unexpected savagery, Martha Stewart proved she could roast harder than anyone when she targeted Edward Norton's acting process. Nobody expected the lifestyle guru to go this hard.
I'm a huge fan. You are amazing. Edward takes the craft of acting very seriously. He prepared to play the Incredible Hulk
by spending 30 years losing his temper and turning into a giant asshole.
But she wasn't done destroying people. She turned her sights on comedian Nikki Glaser with a brutal Me Too reference.
Nikki Glaser, you have it all. The name of a professional porn star and the body of an amateur porn star. A big supporter of the Me Too movement. But remember, Nikki, Me Too shouldn't just be what a guy says to his friend when he tells him he had sex with Nikki Glaser.
And just when it seemed like the jokes couldn't get any darker, Pete Davidson proved otherwise. Pete Davidson delivered one of the most shocking roast lines ever by weaponizing his personal tragedy. This joke crossed every possible boundary.
Thank you. It's an honor to be at a roast hosted by Shaq's dick. You know, I lost my dad on 9/11, and I always regretted growing up without a dad. Until I met your dad, Justin. Now I'm glad mine's dead.
Even award show hosts aren't immune to going too far. Jimmy Kimmel made Robert Downey Jr. visibly uncomfortable with drug references during his Oscar hosting gig. You could literally see RDJ's face changing with every word.
This is the highest point of Robert Downey Jr.'s long and illustrious career. Well, one of the highest points. But Robert has been a...
The drug reference was obvious and uncomfortable, but Kimmel didn't stop there and doubled down with an even more direct shot.
Was that too on the nose, or was that a drug motion you made? Well, look at him. I mean, look at this guy. He's so handsome, so talented. He's won every award there is to win. Is that an acceptance speech in your pocket, or do you just have a very rectangular penis?
Robert looked like he wanted to walk off the awards ceremony. However, Kimmel then shifted targets to Bradley Cooper.
Bradley brings his mother to every award show, right? She was dated last year at the Oscars, and not okay, but and the Tonys and the Soul Train Awards, etc. It's very sweet, but I guess the question is, how many times can one bring his mom as his date before he is actually dating his mom? Are you working on a movie about Freud right now and not telling us?
And finally, he roasted the entire industry over AI fears.
Actors, directors, the people who actually make the film said, we will not accept a deal. Well, not the directors, you guys folded immediately, but the rest of us said we will not accept a deal without protections against artificial intelligence. And as a result, actors no longer have to worry about getting replaced by AI. Thanks to this historic agreement, actors are now able to go back to worrying about being replaced by younger, more attractive people. And I think that's great.
But perhaps the most bizarre celebrity destruction came from Jim Carrey, who used his platform to call out what he claimed was Hollywood's secret society.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is.
He didn't stop there and even put the host blast for that.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Looks like the only reason Jim came to this show was to expose how Hollywood controls the masses.
For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on.
But no one knew that Jim was just getting started with one of his legendary rants.
Blowing the lid off some...
What happened?
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus. What I was trying to say was I think people will enjoy Dumb and Dumber this weekend.
And that is what I thought you were about to say.
At the end, Both Jim and Jimmy Kimmel were making the same hand sign he'd been talking about.
They should all go to the theater. They should all go to the theater tomorrow and see it. Because we could use a good laugh. Ha 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 ha.
Cat Williams took things to an entirely different level with his explosive and controversial rant about Michael Jackson. And this was way beyond typical roast territory.
Lil' Kim went to jail for not snitching. Meanwhile, Michael Jackson is freed in a mother smelling like little boys' booty holes, and I'm supposed to be excited.
Cat wasn't holding back any punches.
How good you can sing and dance. I got babies, you nasty mother. You can't play with little boys' booty holes, and some of y'all looking at me like I can't believe you saying that. It's a setup, a setup. Don't nobody say the same shit about you for 20 goddamn years. What the is you talking about?
And he even went on to compare Jackson to Whitney Houston's drug problems.
If a mother call you a crackhead for 20 years, you are smoking crack. Whitney done smoked her kneecaps off, and we still talk about
Cat then attacked Jackson's racial identity crisis.
He spent his whole life trying to be a white woman, his whole motherfucking life. Then as soon as a nigga get in trouble, now he want to be surrounded by Muslims and shit. Michael, you ain't no motherfucking Muslim. You can't even be a Muslim. You got a white woman pork face. How you gonna be a Muslim? Half your face is pork, Michael.
But the next thing he said took a darker turn, subtly hinting that Michael might have had an interest in younger boys.
Forgetting the fact that Emmanuel Lewis was 26 motherfucking years old at the goddamn time. Fuck that nigga. He just on the balcony picking little boys out, just. I like him.
And just like Cat took a swing at Michael Jackson, this next comedian made sure to sneak in a subtle jab of their own. At the Golden Globes, Joe Coy decided to poke fun at Taylor Swift's NFL relationship. Taylor's reaction became instant meme material.
Difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL? On the Golden Globes, we have fewer camera shots of Taylor Swift. I swear. There's just more to go to here. Sorry about that.
Taylor took a sip of her drink with the most unimpressed expression possible. Her face said everything about what she thought of that joke. This next comedian destroys the entire Hollywood industry. Jerry Seinfeld used his monologue speech to completely trash the entire award show system. This was a nuclear bomb dropped on Hollywood's biggest night.
Awards to comedians. First of all, comedians don't need awards. Awards are for people that are looking for work. We're not looking for work.
But he was just getting started.
Your whole career as a comedian is about making fun of pretentious, high-minded, self-congratulatory BS events like this one. The whole feeling in this room of reverence and honoring is the exact opposite of everything I have wanted my life to be about.
Jerry then delivered the final blow to Hollywood's ego.
It's on me that we feel the need to set aside a night to give out these Jag-Off bowling trophies 6 times a year so all these people can pat each other on the back about how much money they're making boring the piss out of half the world. Playing dress up and pretend is not genius, ladies and gentlemen. It's not genius. Roll the cameras, put on these clothes, stand there, ready, say what we told you to say. Fantastic. He did it. Give this man a huge golden trophy. He's a goddamn genius.
The entire room sat in uncomfortable silence as Jerry destroyed everything they stood for.